As a business owner, many a times that we always feel that we're working more harder than anybody else. We don't have personal time, we don't have family time. We keep on working, working, working. But end of the day, the question is, where is the money for me? I'm doing all kind of hard work. Business seems to be growing year on year. Turnover is slowly getting increased, but I'm not able to take home big kind of a money. So what is this? How can I really get out of this? Is another interesting question. Now the point here is you have to ask yourself one important question. Are you seriously into business or busy mess? Business or busy mess? Now, what is this busy mess? There's a lot of mess around morning till evening, so many things happening, and you're not able to really focus on anything. You seems to be very busy. You go in the morning, maybe 9 o'clock, 9:30 to the office, and by the time you get back or leave the office by about 9:30 in the evening, you are so busy, and eventually you don't feel very happy about the whole thing altogether because there's not much of a money for you personally. Like if you look at every year, end of the year, how much money did I personally take home? What kind of investment that I was able to make the year that passed by? So these are some of the questions that if you ask, you will be totally disappointed. Maybe some kind of a basic salary you'll be taking, but other than that, a big no. So what we need to be looking at this point of time to take home some money month on month, year on year for you. Before we get into any business, before we start any business, we get into something called an eagle's vision, which is something like eagle sees from the top. So you start looking at every single aspect of the business in terms of the turnover, in terms of overheads, in terms of the kind of products that you need to push every single month, every single day, the kind of a profit percentage that you need to be looking at, and what kind of repayment schedule that you wanted to have in case if you're a bank leveraged for your projects and things of that sort. So once you do all those things and once you get into the business, from the day you inaugurate and you get into the factory or a showroom or whatever you're getting into, from that day on, every single day, you don't get into an eagle's vision, you get into an ant's vision, which is an ant keep on walking, like you have a bunch of ants going together. They'll be absolutely focused on the work. They'll carry something, and if you keep a finger in front of it, it'll probably, change the direction and keep moving on the same work. So the question here is, when we were about to start a business, then our vision is from top down. But when you are into the business, you are pretty much working in the business. You're not able to really look business from outside. So this is a stage that we need to be very cautious about it, and you need to ask this one single question: what is the purpose that I am getting into business? Am I making money? What kind of a profit I'm making every single day? So you have to make a point that every single month you look at your profit and loss statement and see how much money are you making every single month. So once that is done, then you have to make it a practice that some kind of money goes from you on your personal savings, or maybe for your future retirement plan, or your medical, your travel, your kids' education, kids' marriage, all of that sort. So you have to make it as a habit to take some kind of a money, a percentage of a profit every single month, and that has to go on a separate wealth creation account separately. Now, why you need to do this? Because there's no motivation for you as motivation for us as an entrepreneur. So every single month we are working very hard, but there's no personal benefit. So this is something that you need to keep in mind. Now the second question that you need to ask yourself: how much ever number of years in business you are in, there are certain things that you are very particular about: paying the salary on time, taking care of all the overheads month on month, and all those bank commitments, your statutory expenses, all of that you keep in mind that it has to be done. Some of us have a particular day, like it has to be one every fifth, it all has to be taken care, and things like that. So now this is something that we have hardwired, and our mind says that it has to be done. And for how much of a business years that you put in, you made it a point that this happens month on month without any fail. whatever may be the challenges. And sometimes you may not have money in your hand, but you will organize money and ensure this gets done. So why is it happening? Because that's how you're wired to. In that particular process, why don't you have something for you as well? And this particular practice that you need to make sure that you have to do it month on month. Now, how to get into a practice like this? There are small lessons that I've learned from real small timers, maybe a bakery shop owner, maybe a small grocery owner. He will have this habit of doing some kind of a savings every single day. Every single day evening, there is one particular person comes either from a chit company or from savings company, and a standing instruction for the person in the office or in the shop, day to day, like a small amount has to go to this particular person. What do you do? I don't know. But every single day, this money has to go to this particular account. So that's a very interesting practice which I have observed from small timers, real small timers. And this is something that we also have to practice. If you don't have a motivation for yourself, if you don't have some kind of a net worth or a reserve fund, then we'll be really struggling. Finally, I want to leave you with one interesting example. A friend of mine who's also a company that we help in terms of consulting them. That company has actually grown very big. Few years back, they had a major setback because at one point of time, they didn't have any cash reserves. Business was going down. A lot of orders of their projects got cancelled, and they didn't have anywhere to go for money. On that particular day, they realized every single month we have to take care at least a basic salary or average salary that the company is paying. In that particular average salary amount, maybe 20,000 or 30,000, that amount into 5%. That means, for example, 30 into 5 is 1.5 lakhs. So this particular money, they keep it in their mind in such a way that we have 30 employees, but we are calculating for 35 employees, and these 5 employees' salary, they make it in a separate account, and that works as a cash reserves. And that kind of money, which they've been practicing for almost 7 to 8 years, 10 years now, so that builds a cash reserves for the company. So like this, you have to have some kind of a money somewhere in your business, and that is going to help you in many ways, either for your motivation for yourself, or maybe a business expansion plan, or some kind of a real crisis situation, especially situations like this where we are going through pandemic and we are going through a lot of uncertainty in terms of business. So these are few best practices that we have to follow, and if we follow these kind of practices, there's going to be comfort and there's going to be motivation for us to go to work every single day as a business owner. Hope you like this. If you still not liked, shared, subscribed, please do so. Thank you very much. Bye.